Hi, I'm Shawn.
Hey, I'm Ricardo.
Hi, and I'm Franchesca, and thank you for joining the Redox Movement. We're here to educate you on a sea of redox and the benefits it can provide you in protecting your health, and also share a little bit about entrepreneurship. And today we're actually going to hear from Shawn to hear about the most impactful story or life change that she's experienced in sharing these molecules. And so, Shawn, can you tell us about what you've experienced?
I look forward to it. So this is an interesting story. I invited my friend who she and I are Buddhists and in a Buddhist organization together. And she has MS. And so I wanted to bring the molecules to her for a couple of reasons. One, she has MS. She had had a surgery that wasn't healing well and needed to go back in and have some surgical intervention to clean it up and hope to get the area to heal properly. It was her knee, and so those were the focal points of giving her the liquid, the Cia Redox, and the Renew 28 topical gel. And she, because of the challenges with MS and being able to, and sort of the barriers to entry to drink ample amounts of water, and our threshold is, half your body weight in ounces of water. She did find drinking the liquid in conjunction with drinking the water somewhat challenging. So she would slip sometimes and not really drink the liquid as consistently, but she was drinking it. But she was using the topical gel um, very consistently, and she was using it on the injury and the subsequent surgery, and then the subsequent healing of the surgery. And then there was an area that she was using it on that was totally unbeknownst to me. And this is the thing that was actually in her mind as being something that was an issue having to do with, sort of, it was cosmetic, but it was very personal, and it shocked her when she saw what happened. So this was an injury that she's in her 60s. So when she was like 10 or 12 years old, she had accidentally put her arm through a window pane and had a really severe scar that was noticeable when she would wear, no sleeves or short sleeves. And it was an area, it bothered her, and made her uncomfortable. So she didn't wear short sleeves and very often as a result. So she was consistently putting it on this area. Now this is now 50 years later, and she reported back to me within, I think it was a 3-month period of time, that the scar was gone. And she was totally shocked by that. And it certainly impacted her enough such that she stepped up the amount of liquid she was drinking, and she became way more consistent with drinking her water as well. But it was that sort of unintended, in terms of my consciousness of where things were going to be focused, that thing was a huge aha for her in what these molecules can do whenever your body needs them. It's like it's never too late to have some kind of impact with these molecules. So that was one thing that I thought was really awesome for her, because it gave her the confidence that these molecules were really doing something. The other thing that happened had to do with my sister-in-law, who was rushed to the hospital because she had complications from congestive heart failure.
Mhm.
And she had kind of become a bit of a recluse from COVID, and she had retired. And so some of the things that would keep you on track and on task in terms of paying attention to your health, paying attention, having even people engage with you, weren't happening. So she'd kind of gone inward, and wasn't even aware exactly of how she was beginning to retain a lot of water. And really, it turned out the amount of water that her body was retaining was almost 80 pounds of liquid that her body had absorbed. And so in this emergency setting, she was taking a lot of medications, but she also wanted to begin taking these molecules because we had had many conversations about how they help to accelerate what the medication is intended to do. And because they are transparent to medication, there's no contraindication, even if you're taking a lot, as she was. And so what was profound in this case is that she was aware of how fast the medications were working to equalize and to help her body rid itself of this extra body fluid that she was carrying. And the doctors and the nurses were similarly shocked as they were, because they knew what the medication was that they were giving her, but they also were amazed at how fast the result was taking hold. And so that was really pleasing for me because, you know, it was so uncomfortable for her to have that amount of body weight that she was in water that she was carrying, and to know that these molecules were never harming, but were creating this accelerated experience as she was using these medications. So, and then there's one more that I will just tell you, which has to do with me doing some sleuth work. I was reading an article in People magazine, and this young girl at the age of 5 contracted a very rare bacteria. And it came in the form of something that spilled. It was an air freshener that spilled in her grandmother's home and got on the carpet and concentrated in the air. Turned out that there was a hidden bacteria in this formulation, and the young girl and the family cat actually died, and the young girl was traumatically affected by it. She became immobile. She was unable to talk, and she was unable to feed herself. And I was so struck by this story that I wanted to find her and make her family aware of these molecules. So I did some sleuth work, found the person who, I knew what town they lived in because that was all said in the article. And I found someone who wrote an article separate from the People magazine article that was part of the sort of the town paper, and got to that person. And the person got to the dad, and the dad called me. And so I was able to do a Zoom with the dad and Debbie Wetzler, who we'll actually be talking to later on in our conversations, who brought these molecules to the state of Maryland, where we are right now, and to people globally. And so Debbie and I and the dad and the mom were on this Zoom, shared it with him. He's a medic, so he did his background research, knew that it wasn't going to harm his daughter, and started getting the molecules. He started getting them for her. And since she can't drink them, they're put into a feeding tube for her. And so he continues to report to me that he's seeing progress as she's drinking these molecules. It's slow and steady, but he's been really pleased with what's been happening for her. So I would say those are the 3 that I would share.
Shawn, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like, when I haven't heard of this one before.
Me either. You were like, oh, I don't have a story. That's amazing. I can't believe we never heard that.
Oh,
When was this, Shawn?
So I got in touch with him about 3 months ago,
Oh,
maybe 4 months
wow.
ago. Yeah,
That is amazing.
yeah,
That's
he's
awesome. That's
wow.
just taking the initiative to discover, where they were, how you could reach out to him. The fact that he got on a call with you was
Yep.
amazing.
that shocked me. It was like it came in a delay from when I'd reached out to the person who did the
Yeah,
article. So when the number came up and I could see where it was coming from, I was, it's like I couldn't get to the phone fast enough because I
yeah,
was so
yeah.
surprised that it had happened. And
Wow.
it took a while. It took a while. He's going through, there's some legal things that he's going through. And so he
Yeah,
had to be very careful about, other things that he started to do while that piece was still in
sure.
progress. But he really appreciated how this could only help, could never harm
Wow.
his daughter.
Mm,
That's wow. That's amazing.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Kudos to you, Shawn. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's we talked about this before, how you feel compelled at some point, you feel that maybe this is that missing link for
Yeah,
someone. And it's no longer a maybe, it's always true because
yeah.
most people aren't taking these molecules. So, even medication reaches a point where it can't overcome the fact that our cells aren't communicating properly.
Mm.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, Shawn, for sharing that. And then for the fact that you took the initiative to actually reach out to the person. Of course, you didn't know them, but you took the initiative, and that speaks a lot. That speaks a
Yeah,
lot.
definitely.
And yeah, thank you for sharing that. Had no clue, no clue whatsoever. But that's an amazing impact you've experienced and you've actually seen. And so, wow, wow. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining us today. And if you have any questions about the product, about joining the Redox movement, or today's topic, go ahead and reach out to us by clicking the link below, and we can answer your questions and get you more information. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
Sure. Wait, you know what? I know I'm disrupting everything real quick, but something just came to mind I wanted to share. And we've all sharing or have shared experiences that we've directly that came about from us directly sharing a SEA with someone. But I believe we all, have experiences where someone we shared it with someone that shared it with someone that shared it with someone, and really big impacts. And that's the power of just sharing it. You can impact someone directly, but the ripple effect from people sharing, because Debbie Wetzler, who you mentioned, Shawn, has impacted. None of us would know about it if she didn't share it with other people.
Exactly.
And her just sharing it with people has impacted thousands of people around the world. So,
Might be tens of thousands at this
yeah,
point, you
yeah,
never know. It's really,
yeah,
you're
totally.
right. That's exactly, and that's the beauty of network marketing.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry to throw you off, Franchesca, but I just
No,
wanted
no,
to,
it's okay. That's important to note in there. That's important
yeah,
to share.
yeah,
I mean, it's significant, the impact that we have just in sharing. And you never know how you'll impact by just simply sharing.
yeah.
So it's important. All right. So we will see you next time, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
See you soon.